Hi, my name is Dr. Ben Leong of Rehab Lab, Arizona. I'm a sports chiropractor in Tempe, and the ARPneuro has been a total game changer for both me personally and my patients. Now, I had first found about the ARP as a high school athlete. I had torn my ACL freshman, sophomore, junior years of high school. If you tear your ACL one time, it's going to end your season. If you tear your ACL 2 times, your career might be over. And if you tear your ACL 3 times, then you start worrying about what's going to happen to you long term. Am I going to have early onset arthritis? Am I going to be able to do any of the sports that I love so much? And so when I say ARPneuro changed my life, I'm being 100% honest. It changed what I thought was possible about my own body. It changed the way that I understood healing, and it made me want to become a therapist in the first place. The main issue with my knee was that I didn't have full knee extension. And so over the course of those 3 years, I would have 6 different surgeries, not just the 3 reconstructive surgeries, but surgeries in between each of those to break down scar tissue or shave down the bone. They did whatever they could to get me into full extension range of motion on the surgeon's table. And then they would say, okay, you've got it here practically when we got you knocked out, you can do it and you can express that range of motion. But then when I would get on the field or out in real life, I wasn't able to find that for myself. That was because my nervous system wasn't letting me do that. I had specific muscles that were weak, and once I would get into those patterns, my body wouldn't trust itself, and so it would create tightness or fatigue the other muscles. Eventually, over the course of a year or a season, my muscles would wear down, I'd strain something in the kinetic chain, and then there would be a breakdown, and then that's when I would tear my ACL again. And so it was this constant cycle of weakness, tightness, dysfunction, right? And so no matter how hard I rehabbed, or no matter what it would look like for me to check those strength boxes or check those performance boxes, I wasn't able to reach my full potential. After perpetuating that cycle over and over and over again, we said, we need to do something new, something totally different. And ARPneuro was that difference maker for me. ARP is such a great tool because it's not just therapeutic, but it's also diagnostic. So we can take a look at the leg and say, okay, here's where you have areas of inflammation, here's where you have areas of weakness. And with me, it wasn't just, oh, your quad's weak and your hamstring's tight like everybody looks at when they're taking you through PT, but it was weak in specific positions. It was weak in my ankle, or it was weak in my tibialis anterior, and I needed to access those with specific ranges of motion. So with the ARP, we can take you up. We'll turn up the intensity on the unit, and you will expose new areas of compensation. Not just, are you weak, just can you do this lift, but are you weak in this position? Can you control this movement? And once you start to do that and train that pattern, then you get to reconnect your brain to your body, and you redevelop ownership over something. So for me, it was first session, diagnostic with the ARP, something new that I had not seen before. And then by session 3 or 4, I'd regained my full knee extension range of motion. And then by 5 and 6, I was able to do all this stuff on my own without the ARP even. And so that was total game changer for my career. Went on and played college football, but then also changed the way that I wanted to approach life, changed what I wanted to do with my job. Because now I know what the human body is capable of. That doctor that tells you, hey, it might be time to give this up, or the therapist that says, this might never be normal again. I know what it's like to be told those things, and I was able to do what could not be done because of a tool like the ARPneuro. And so I love giving that gift back to my patients to say, no, you don't have to be defined by your pain anymore. You can have a new identity, you can have a new ownership over your body. And so the ARP is extremely beneficial for what it does to the physical tissue as far as increasing blood flow, increasing range of motion, improving muscle strength. But it's most valuable for how it retrains the nervous system so that you can work through specific compensation patterns that unlock new movements or movements that you've been holding on to or guarding against for several years. I see it every day now. Recovery times cut in half, chronic injuries overcome, and athletes gaining new access to things that they've never done before. So if you're an athlete who suffered an acute injury and you need to recover fast for an upcoming event, or if your story sounds a lot like mine and you're tired of being in chronic pain, but you're not willing to give up, then you can get where you need to be with the ARPneuro. If you're local to Arizona, check out rehablab.arizona.com. And if you're not local, just reach out to me on Instagram at Dr. Ben Leong. I can get you connected with those at ARPneuro. I'm committed to helping you overcome pain and live free so you can get back to doing what you love.